Hey guys, it's Joanna, and today I'm going to be filming another little chatty video here because there were some things that I wanted to share with you, like my new wine glasses that came in. Plus, do you notice anything different about my eyes by chance? Yes, that's right. If you follow me on Instagram, I mentioned there that I had bought the Lashify lash system, gossamers, whatever you want to call it, and they came in earlier this week and I have been testing them out, so I'm going to be doing a full review on these in an upcoming video. However, this is a kind of a preview. So far mostly positive things to say, but there are definitely some downsides that I will address, and I mean, we'll see how it goes in the next few days of me wearing these, but yeah, I think if you are curious about this, you will want to watch that future video for sure. Okay, so in a previous video of mine, I mentioned that I was super excited because I ordered these wine glasses and blah de blah de blah, and I just kind of went on and on and on about how excited I was about these wine glasses, and they came, and I'm ready for my reveal. It is the Zalto denk'art universal glasses. I mean, Zalto denk'art glasses in general, amazing, but then, you know, I just wanted the universal one because instead of, I mean, I'm not such a wine fanatic that I need a dedicated Bordeaux glass or a dedicated champagne. I mean, well, yes, I do need a dedicated champagne flute, but that's separate. So anyhow, I wasn't that picky that I needed every single type of glass there is, but the universal one then is perfect. So these are quite expensive. They are definitely a little bit of a luxury purchase, but each one is hand blown, which, I mean, I don't even know how they manufacture like mass produced glasses, but these are certainly not mass produced in the same way anyhow. I mean, I'm always a little bit dubious about these like made by hand, blah, 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 because like, I'm sure there are many ways to do hand blown without actually being like an artisan crafts person, you know? I don't know, I could probably find out a little bit more about it, but nevertheless, this is the glass that I got. And so it comes in a box, it has like a bunch of their little literature. Each one, I ordered 4 of them, but I thought it was gonna come in like a set, but actually each one is still sold individually and packaged individually. So this is what it looks like. Cheers. So you may be looking at this and thinking, what is so special about that glass, Joanna? It looks like a normal wine glass. Well, for starters, the wine tastes better. No, just kidding. I really don't. I'm certainly not enough of a wine aficionado to really say that with certainty. Nevertheless, it does seem to taste better, and that could just be psychological. But I first came across these glasses in a wine bar, Aldo Somme in New York. It's in Midtown, FYI, in case you are in Midtown and looking for like a chill, cool place to go that doesn't feel like it's overrun by the expense account crowd. So I highly recommend Aldo Somme. They have, I mean, for one thing, they use these glasses and the place just looks nice. It's like nicely decorated. They have like Keith Haring paintings on the wall. Yeah, it's a nice space. So I highly recommend going to check that out if you're in Midtown, just in looking for something that's a little bit more casual and quiet and comfortable. But when they first brought my glass of wine out to me, I immediately was like, whoa, what is this wine glass that you're serving me in? Because this wine glass is so delicate, so light. The stem is like so thin. I don't think you can even like focus on that. It's so thin and delicate and precise. And it's just, it's beautiful. So let me compare this to like a normal glass. Okay, so this is a normal glass, and this isn't even really a normal glass. This is actually still another nice glass. This is from Schott Zweisel. And this is also like a universal wine glass in that, oh shoot. In that it can, you know, it's like a neutral kind of shape and size. Great for, you know, red wines of all varieties, and white wines, to be honest, and wine cooler mixer drinks, because this thing is huge and can easily accommodate ice and booze. So yeah, I would say this is, I mean, the only unusual thing about this one is just, I think its size. It is truly huge. But so this is a normal one, and if you just compare the stems, like even if you can't tell, like just looking at this on its own, in comparison to like a more normal glass, you can see how different that size is. And you can feel it. It feels just like such a refined piece of glassware, and I am just going to enjoy using this for the rest of my life, or as long as I don't break it anyway. So after I came across these glasses at Aldo Som, I was like, immediately I needed to go find them and buy them for myself. And it's been like a few years now, but I finally decided to pull the trigger recently because I was like, okay, I'm kind of settled. I can finally buy nice stuff and not have to worry about moving it in the immediate future. So I decided that I could invest in some nice glasses. And it was at that point that I did some more research on these, and these are apparently all hand blown, like I mentioned. The design is very specific. Apparently this glass is designed to be at the specific angles that are matching the Earth's tilt. Whatever the heck that means, but supposedly the Romans also used to store their foods at these angles because it would keep their foods fresher for longer and better tasting. So it all kind of sounds kind of crazy, but at the same time, hey, I love a glass or a product with a story and a background and a history, and this one has a rich history, and I'm just like, yes, if you like wine or even are like meh about wine but like to enjoy fine foods in luxury, you definitely need to get yourself some of these glasses. I mean, honestly, I'm so happy I did. But maybe not when I end up breaking them because they are so delicate. Okay, so that's my wine glass. But that aside, the other thing I want to talk about kind of related to that is just, you know, spending in general. I think obviously, you know, this is a luxury product. It's not something that is necessary by any stretch of the imagination. Even if you are an absolute wineophile, you still don't need these particular glasses. But, you know, if you have the means and you can, I think it's perfectly okay to treat yourself once in a while. And I mean, this isn't like a crazy expense, right? It was 4 glasses, 60 bucks, 240 bucks. I mean, honestly, I spend more than that on plenty of things. It's just relative to the average wine glass, this one is quite expensive. That being said, I think it is still incredibly important for you, anyone, to be financially responsible and to maximize your earnings and savings and investments. And that's what I want to talk about in the second part, is really like, I just feel, I mean, recently several of my friends, like from just randomly different circles, have been asking me about investing. And by all means, I am not an investment genius. I'm not like someone who follows the markets actively. You know, I certainly don't do that much trading. I'm kind of like a buy and hold type of person. And one thing though, for sure, is that investing is so important. If I look at the amount of wealth that I've accrued today, at least half of it is because I invested smartly. So if you just think about, like, you are earning your salary, but your salary only gets you so far, and really, you know, you can save all of your salary and that still only gets you so far. But imagine, like in my case, I've saved the part of my salary that I could save, and then I've basically doubled it without having to work, because that return has been investment return. Obviously, investments are risky, and obviously if tomorrow the market crashes, half of that is gone, but hey, whatever. It wasn't really stuff that I like earned necessarily myself anyway, so in that way it's almost, I feel like, okay about it. I think you just have to have this kind of dispassionate view towards your money, to be able to just rely on the fact that, you know, overall, over time, the markets will go up, population is going up, our expenditures are going up, capital is going up, there is inflation. So even if you just put all your money in the bank, unless it's in an investment of some sort, even if it's just like a CD, that money is worth less tomorrow than it is today because of inflation. So for all of these reasons, I'm just like, oh my gosh, please, 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 if you can do one thing. If I did one thing differently, it would be to have invested more sooner and been a little bit more of a risk taker in my earlier days with regards to investing. Because, you know, when you're young, you can take those risks because honestly, you're not going to be needing, I mean, sure, if you're saving up for a particular thing, like you want to buy a house and you're saving up a down payment, yeah, don't put that in risky assets. You know, put that probably in like a safe savings account or safe money market fund or something that's, you know, relatively safe. But otherwise, like, I just wish I would have put all my money in like most aggressive types of investment funds. I mean, sorry, not to say that. Don't put it in just willy-nilly random things. Don't go buying penny stocks or something like that. But, you know, put it in an index fund that tracks the S&P 500. Odds are better than not that that money will outperform most, you know, other funds that have higher fees. So just sit back, relax, put your money away, don't think about it, don't stress out if you hear that the markets are down and go pull all your money out. In fact, if you hear the markets are down, because we are, you know, in a place right now in time when we are supposedly going to be coming into a recession very soon. If you just look at the economic cycles, recession is, if not next year, the year after. So when that does happen, like, instead of being scared and pulling all your money out, actually that's the time to then dump more money in. So I'm actually looking forward to, I mean, I'm not really, like, I'm kind of looking forward to the next recession because that's just going to be an opportunity for me to make a lot more, to be honest, in my investments. For that reason, if there is a huge downturn, instead of freaking out and being sad that I've just lost, you know, 50% of my savings and investments, I will be happily just putting in more money because honestly, it's gonna go back up. It's just a matter of time. So the one regret is I didn't take advantage of the last recession. I mean, I didn't obviously have that much money to be taking advantage of the last recession, but like, I wish for sure that I listened to my mom when she suggested that I look into buying some New York real estate at that point. Because, I mean, at that point I was just like, oh, I don't want to deal with the idea of having real estate. I don't even know where I'm going to be. I don't want to deal, like, it was just laziness, sheer laziness on my part, and, you know, kind of a fear, nervousness from the shock of the economic downturn. And plus, you know, who knew if I was going to have a job forever, like all of that stuff. So for those reasons, I did not want the responsibility of any kind of home ownership at that time. But had I purchased a house or whatever, a condo, apartment back in 2011, 2012 or whatever, I would be pretty set right now. So take that lesson from me and learn that you should be not spending all your money on luxury, frivolous things like this glass, but rather that you should be looking for ways to put your money to work so that you can, in 10 years' time, go buy a bunch of these glasses and not feel so guilty about it. Okay, this was kind of a random video that just meandered around, but that was what I wanted to talk about. I should probably get back to work now. All right, my glass of wine is done. Oh yeah, this is the Stephen Vincent wine. This was this bottle of wine that I mentioned in my last video that I don't want to say the sommelier, the guy at Costco said was pretty good. And I mentioned in that video that I really don't like Californian wines because I really hate like big, bold reds that are like super tannic and fruity and just blech. And he said, oh, this one is, you know, more old world style. So I was like, huh, okay, I'll give it a try. And the price was right. It was like $15, something like that. I don't remember exactly, but it was not that expensive. Plus I had my wine glasses coming, so. And he's right, it's really not your typical Californian wine. It is kind of, though, very much like grape juice. So it's like California wines in that it's very fruity, fruit forward. Here I am trying to be a snob. I really don't know that much about wines. I drink what I like, and I know that I like earthy mineral flavors in my wine. So anyhow, this is pretty fruity tasting, but it has like a base of that earthiness that I like. Whereas Californian wines, I feel like are fruity tasting, but they just taste, but they're also simultaneously super tannic, and you need to like be eating a piece of rack of lamb or something to enjoy them. So yeah. How do you like my lashes, guys? Pretty good, right? Okay, I'm gonna go now. I need to go back to work. 2 glasses of wine in, back to work. Actually, let me compare this glass and this glass. Guys, I don't know, it might just be in my head, but there's something to these angles. I don't know, it's so strange. There's something to it. I think so. Highly recommend these glasses. I'll put a link down to them below. So, okay, that's it for me. If you are curious about my Lashify faux extensions, you can stick around for my next video. Definitely subscribe and blah, 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 whatever, you know the drill. Yeah, and you can also find me on Instagram. I've been posting on my Instagram stories a lot more lately, so you can go check those out. Oh, and I do want to say that I absolutely realize that this kind of negates my sugar-free September. Let's be real here. I've not been totally sugar-free, but I've been 95 to 99% sugar-free. So I'm very proud of myself. Therefore, I don't feel guilty about drinking a few glasses of wine. Okay, thanks for watching. Ciao.